You hit on something I think no one has really been talking about all that much, Rita, and that's what's the crime? There hasn't been an alleged crime at this point. They're just kind of doing this all for theater, all for show. Not to mention the fact this tactic is pretty clear. Yes, it's interference with the election. Of course, it's trying to sully his name so that those independents who are thinking about getting back or with Trump would think twice about it. But it's also designed to keep him off the campaign trail and to bleed him dry financially, so that he didn't have a lot of money to wage war against the Democrats in this upcoming election. All those things are kind of coming together in this spectacle that is the court, and there's really nothing there for the prosecution. Pecker talked about doing this with other clients. As you said, this is kind of standard practice. And also, let's be honest, the administration right now, Joe Biden, coordinates with big tech and the media all the time to try and get stories out or suppress various stories with the Hunter Biden laptop, with Joe Biden, with Jill, everybody else, with the dog that bites everybody. So this is like not new in any form or fashion. There is no crime here. Remember, it was Biden's DOJ who looked at this and said, no, we're not going to move forward here. It was Alvin Bragg's predecessor who looked at the same case and said, no, nothing to see here. It's only because it's an election year, and it's only because it's Donald Trump who's ahead in the polls against Joe Biden that we have to go through these ridiculous cases.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Trump is also taking advantage of being in New York and campaigning. I mean, it's been amazing to see what's been happening before court and after court. David, what about the gag order? Because we're going to have a hearing this week on it. And already they're saying that they have more than a dozen violations. And in fact, Trump made a comment about David Pecker saying he's a nice guy. And Bragg's team said, ka-ching, there's another one. I couldn't believe it. I mean, is he not supposed to say anything?
I mean, I guess they just want him to be a deaf mute for the next 8 weeks, right? You know, not talk about anything about your case. This is a total shame. It's unconstitutional. How are you possibly going to allow an individual, or try to kind of make an individual not speak at all about the case? You have to be able to talk about the case because you have a right as an American to talk about it. But, you know, the judge doesn't want to hear anything bad about himself. He doesn't want to hear anything bad about his daughter, who are both conflicted terribly. The judge should not even be on this case because he has so many conflicts regarding his daughter. And look at all the biased decisions that he's done so far. I mean, pretty much it's everybody in that courtroom against Donald Trump and his legal team. It's totally unconstitutional. I can't wait to see what the judge does on Tuesday. You know, and I'm sure he's going to say, oh, well, Donald Trump violated this because he said something here, something there. That's going to be appealed, and the appellate division is going to rule in favor of Donald Trump. They have to.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of back and forth, I'm sure, Appeal City on so many issues here. Before I let you go, Hogan, real quick, I have to get your reaction because President Biden did an interview when he was in New York with radio shock jock Howard Stern about debating Trump. And he said something for the very first time. Let's listen.
Can I tell you a fantasy I had? If you, I don't know if you're going to debate your opponent.
I am somewhere. I don't know when. I'm happy to debate him.
I'm happy to debate him. First off, your reaction, and do you think that's ever going to happen? I see you nodding, my friend.
Well, that's where the staff was in the back going, no, don't say that out loud. They're terrified of that juxtaposition of having someone like Donald Trump who's with it, who has policies that the people of this country actually support overwhelmingly. They think he's better on the economy, the border, crime. They think he's better on foreign relations because he is. Standing up next to someone in Joe Biden who, forget for a moment the physical decline, the cognitive decline. He can't put together sentences when he has the questions and the answers right in front of him. He knows what reporter to call on. You're telling me he's going to be able to stand up on stage for that long with Donald Trump? Listen, in these debates, what you want to do is tamp down expectations. I understand that. However, I think the country, especially those on the right, would love to see this because Joe Biden is lost without those speaking aids. Even when he has them, it's not good. And so standing side by side, if Trump can let that president speak, it's going to be a real problem for them, not just with the cognitive and the physical decline, but the policy prescriptions are wrong for this country. They put America last, and the people will see that. There is no way his staff wants him to stand up on that debate stage.
Well,